Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Everyday English Treats. Thank you for spending a few minutes of your day with me. Let me begin with a question. Have you ever opened social media, looked at someone else's life, and suddenly felt like your own life wasn't good enough? Perhaps you saw a friend buying a new house. Maybe someone you know got promoted. Perhaps another person was traveling the world while you were sitting at home scrolling through your phone. If you've ever felt this way, you're not alone. Today's topic is why comparison steals your happiness. Comparison is something almost everyone experiences. It's a natural human tendency. From a young age, we compare ourselves to others. We compare our grades, our appearance, our talents, our careers, our relationships, and even our lifestyles. Sometimes we don't even realize we're doing it. The problem isn't comparison itself. The problem is what comparison often does to our mindset. Imagine you're climbing a mountain. You're making steady progress. You're feeling proud of how far you've come. Then you look to your left and notice someone climbing faster than you. Suddenly, instead of feeling proud, you feel disappointed. Nothing about your journey has changed. The only thing that changed was your focus. This is exactly how comparison works. It shifts our attention away from our own progress and places it on someone else's path. One of the biggest reasons comparison has become so common is social media. Every day, we're exposed to carefully selected moments from other people's lives. We see the highlights, the celebrations, the achievements, the vacations, the happy moments. What we rarely see are the struggles behind those moments. We don't see the failures, the doubts, the mistakes, or the difficult days. As a result, we end up comparing our everyday reality to someone else's edited highlights. And that's an unfair comparison. Think about it this way. Imagine watching only the best 5 minutes of someone's entire year. Then imagine comparing those 5 minutes to your own life, including all your challenges, worries, and insecurities. Of course you'll feel inadequate. No one can win that comparison. Another problem with comparison is that it often creates jealousy. Jealousy itself isn't necessarily bad. In fact, it can sometimes reveal what we truly want. If you're jealous of someone's confidence, perhaps you want to become more confident. If you're jealous of someone's success, perhaps you have goals you haven't pursued yet. The key is to use jealousy as information, rather than letting it become bitterness. Instead of asking, why do they have that? Try asking, what can I learn from their journey? Comparison can also damage our self-worth. Many people begin believing they're not successful enough, attractive enough, intelligent enough, or talented enough. But self-worth should never depend on how we measure up against others. Every person has different strengths, experiences, opportunities, and challenges. Life is not a race where everyone starts from the same starting line. Some people discover their passion early. Others discover it later. Some achieve success in their 20s. Others achieve success in their 50s. There is no universal timeline for life. One of the most powerful ways to overcome comparison is gratitude. Gratitude shifts our attention from what we lack to what we already have. Take a moment to think about your life right now. Perhaps you have supportive friends. Perhaps you're learning a new skill. Perhaps you're healthier than you were last year. Perhaps you're becoming more confident. There is always something to appreciate. Another helpful practice is focusing on personal growth. Instead of comparing yourself to another person, compare yourself to who you were 6 months ago or 1 year ago. Have you learned something new? Have you overcome challenges? Have you become stronger, wiser, or more experienced? Those are the comparisons that matter. The truth is that someone will always have more than you in some area of life. More money, more experience, more opportunities, more achievements. But someone else will also look at your life and admire something you have. Comparison is endless. That's why happiness cannot depend on being better than everyone else. Real happiness comes from appreciating your own journey. It comes from recognizing your progress. It comes from celebrating your victories, no matter how small they seem. Your life doesn't need to look like someone else's to be meaningful. Your journey doesn't need to match another person's timeline. You are allowed to grow at your own pace. You are allowed to take a different path. And you are allowed to define success for yourself. So today, I want to leave you with a simple challenge. The next time you catch yourself comparing your life to someone else's, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Then ask yourself, what am I grateful for today? You may discover that you already have more reasons to be happy than you realize. Thank you for listening to today's episode of Everyday English Treats. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep building habits that support the life you want to create. Happy learning with Everyday English Treats. Until next time, take care and keep practicing your English. Remember, every small step brings you closer to fluency. See you in the next lesson.